Hello and welcome back to GP Nail Art. Jessica here. So I have my watermelon mani. I'll put that up in the cards for you if you want to check out that video. But today I'm going to be reviewing some new products for me. I've never used Triple D before, and I did get a here's the information for her website if you want to go and check out their products. They did come with a alcohol wipe, which I really love that they include that in there. I did just get clear to try that out. The only color that I got was the hide and seek, which I'm not going to be using today, but it's a really cool like temp changing powder. So I'll probably use that in a future episode, future video. But today I'm going to be using their delicate dip powder liquids. So we have the base coat, the activator, and the top coat. And delicate is just meaning that it's very low odor for anybody that has an issue with the smell of the dip liquids. I will be using my Mama Makes Her Own Dips powder. This is called Soul of the Sea, that nice teal color. And I'm just going to be doing that one color. I do also love that the liquids have the instructions for each liquid on the back of the bottle, instead of having like a separate card that's probably going to get lost somewhere that you take out of the box and then you never really see it again. But there wasn't anything really any different as far as application is concerned to other dip powder liquids. So we'll go through that. So I'm going to start with the base coat, and it just says to apply a layer of the base coat, dip into the nail, the dip powder, and then apply a second layer of the base coat and dip once again. So pretty similar to any other dip powder liquid. I'm sure you could do a third layer as well if you wanted the color to be more opaque. I'm just going to do the 2 layers, and then I'll do a layer of clear later on. So one thing that I noticed, the activator had maybe a little bit of smell. The rest of the liquids were very low odor. Had a hard time even really smelling anything from them at all, so that was really nice. And my mom does have sensitivity, I guess, to the dip powder liquids. They kind of give her that dip flu symptoms where you kind of feel congested and feel like you have a cold. So I kind of, I wanted to try these out, but I'll probably mostly leave them for her to use if she wants to start dipping her nails again, so that if she does them herself, she doesn't have a lot of smell to worry about. So hopefully they don't bother her at all. But nothing too different. I did notice as far as the base coat is concerned, it is a pretty thin consistency, which I like. I don't like when the dip powder base coats are really thick. I kind of feel like they end up being a little bit more bumpy, or when you dip them into the dip powder that way. But and it was also slow drying. You'll notice sometimes if you're looking at any of the nails after I dip into the powder, they'll start to look like they have dark spots. That's usually just the the liquid kind of coming through. So I'll dip into the powder again to kind of absorb up that liquid so that it doesn't look wet any longer. So that is one thing I did notice, that it was a slower drying liquid. So that does come in handy when you want to do different kinds of art on your nails as well. So keep that in mind. I also apologize if I sound a little sniffly or congested or anything, or a little off. I'm trying to kind of get used to being in Connecticut, and with like windows open and just a different environment. I do get seasonal allergies, although they weren't really bothering me much in Florida, because you kind of have one fairly consistent season, but they are kind of hitting me hard, my allergies, right now, so that's been a little bit of a struggle. So I'm going to go ahead and apply the second layer, and again, if you notice when I get any kind of spots that look a little bit wet, or where like the liquid is coming through, I'll just dip that into the powder again. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and cap all of my nails with the clear, and I am using the Triple D clear powder. I did not have any problems at all with this clear powder. I thought it looks very clear, especially when you have it on a little bit more of a solid kind of color. I didn't notice any kind of white specks or like file marks after I finish filing or anything like that. So I really like this this powder, and it seems to be very finely milled, so it's super soft. It was worked really well. I really enjoy this clear powder. I also wanted to mention on the website, I believe, when you're looking at the delicate dip liquids as a set, it does, I believe, on the website say that it's probably not a good idea to try to mix those liquids with liquids from maybe another company or regular dip powder liquids. Sometimes you can kind of get away with, you know, using base from one company, activator from another, because they all kind of tend to work very similar. So you can kind of mix them up a little bit like that, or use, you know, different brands together for one mani, but it does say on the website that it's not recommended to do that with the delicate, and that's probably just the formulation that makes them low odor, that they may not work properly when you try to use or swap something in from a different company. So just keep that in mind as well. And you could see when I was doing the clear how it really kind of you know, seems to kind of seep through as far as the liquid is concerned, or, you know, be a little bit more slow drying. So I just kind of keep dipping it into the clear to help absorb up that liquid. All right, so for the activator, this was the only one or liquid in the bunch that has a little bit of a smell, but it's not anything that's overpowering. But it does say, as far as the directions are concerned on the back of the bottle, after dipping into the powder, coat with a layer of the activator, buff the nail out until it's smooth, and then apply another layer of activator. So usually, you know, it's the same kind of instructions that you get with most dip powder systems. After you're done dipping, capping and clear, doing whatever you need to do, the activator is going to make everything hard so that you can file, buff, shape, do whatever you need to do as far as making sure everything is nice and smooth. Although I have to say I didn't really have to, you know, buff out the surface of the nail too much. The powder applied really nicely. Like I said, the base coat is not super thick, so it didn't come out very bumpy at all. I am showing just a couple of nails for the filing, just to, you know, kind of give you an idea of, you know, a little bit of what I do as far as the filing is concerned, but I use my cone-shaped bit to kind of just go around my cuticle line to kind of smooth that out, make sure it looks nice and natural, and not too thick near my cuticle. And then I just kind of go over the whole surface of the nail a little bit, just to you know, buff out anything, make it nice and smooth. But I didn't really have to do a whole lot. So it filed very nicely. I didn't have any issues with filing after applying the activator either. So everything worked out pretty good. All right, so after filing, I do always like to clean off any remaining filing dust or anything like that from my skin and nails with a little bit of alcohol. So I just like to clean up everything nice before we go in with the top coat. All right, so we're going to go in with that second layer of activator as per the instructions on the bottle, and with most dip powder systems, that second layer of activator is what is going to make your top coat shiny. So this isn't really to harden the nails. We already did that with the first layer, but whatever the chemical science is behind the dip powder systems, when you do that second layer of activator, it helps to make your top coat shiny, so don't skip that step. I did pull out the alcohol wipe from the kit that they sent in the box with the liquids. I like that it's a nice, you know, big sheet of with the alcohol already on it to kind of clean up your nails and everything. So that was a nice you know, added little bonus in my package. But I'm going to go ahead and go in with the top coat. So I'm going to do the same that I normally do with any other dip powder system. For the first layer, I typically go over the whole entire nail with 2 to 3 quick swipes from cuticle to free edge, and just, you know, move on to my other nails. Once I get to my thumb, the pinky is usually dry enough to go in with the second layer. And the second layer, you can be more thorough. For the instructions on the bottle, it does say after the activator, you will need to apply a layer of the delicate top coat, and then after 30 seconds, paint another coat of the delicate top coat. So it does say to do the 2 layers, to wait the 30 seconds, but like I said, by the time you get to your thumb, the pinky is dry enough to go back in with that second layer, and then just continue on. So you'll notice that I'm just doing the 2 to 3 swipes. Make sure you wipe off your brush. I have my little piece of paper towel there to clean my brush before I put it back into the bottle. And that's just to make sure if there's any activator residue that I'm not going to contaminate these liquids. So I want them to last, you know, all the way through to the end of the bottle. I don't want to ruin them at all. So I'm going to go ahead and move on, like I said, right back to my pinky to apply the second layer. And this one I'll be a little bit more thorough. You kind of, you know, can do more swipes on your nail. It doesn't have to be the 2 to 3, you know, quick swipes. I'll get my free edge, you know, to kind of protect my peel base so they don't pop off before I want them to. And then that's that. So I'll finish up with the top coat, and then I'll be able to apply my cuticle oil. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and apply my Candi Skin Care cuticle oil with my cuticle oil pen, and I like to apply that all around my cuticle and under my nail as well to re-nourish my skin and make sure everything is nice and hydrated, promote nail growth and everything. But I did also want to mention that, I'm sorry if you hear a noise in the background, got my windows open, the weather's been really beautiful here. But I did want to mention as well, we've had some kind of, you know, hotter days here, so I think when I'm doing my nails sometimes that does take the liquids a little bit longer time to dry. The top coat, I usually let them sit for a good 5 minutes before I go in and try to touch them, but I do think they were dry prior to that, so it didn't take a super long time to dry. But let me know what you think of this mani. Let me know if you've tried the anything from Triple D or anything else that I should check out. And oh, one thing that I forgot in regards to this particular dip powder as well. One little nice surprise, it's a UV changer. I completely forgot when I picked the color that was a UV changer, but that's also a lot of fun, and you'll kind of see it changing back to the lighter color right before your eyes, which I love. But let me know what you think of this mani. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and until next time, bye for now.